today we are going to be watching The Protein Obsession is Out of Control. I used to eat a lot of protein and then I gave up because I don't like doing math. Let's check it out.
Protein, my ride or die. Premier Protein, my ride or die.
New protein Eggo waffles.
Crush hunger with Hot Pockets high protein steak and cheddar.
Dude, the protein Hot Pockets aren't even that crazy good. And then they just put 20 grams on the cover and then you buy it and you eat it. But if you look at like normal, probably Hot Pockets, it's like the same.
Protein's in your water, your chips, your donuts, even your damn pasta.
Okay, I do get the protein pasta.
It's not just you. Protein is suddenly everywhere. Every year, its search popularity has been increasing, while the number of new products marketing their protein content has almost doubled in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Some companies have even tried selling protein vapes.
Why are we boofing protein? No shot. I'm gonna get secondhand protein.
Because 71% of people aim to eat more protein in 2024, up from 59% in 2022.
I can't hit my protein.
Is that what I sound like?
20. Oh, baby bounce.
Not good.
It's protein.
Oh my god! What the hell? What is this the Fantastic Four?
But if you thought influencers were unhinged with this protein craze, just wait until you see the companies cashing in. From
Oh my god, don't even get me started on the protein freaking Pop-Tarts. Those are horrible.
shady marketing to ridiculous new products, they've managed to rebrand everyday foods to charge a premium. But take a look closer and you'll see this protein boom isn't nearly as innocent as it looks.
What was with the BDS M&M?
But take a look closer and you'll see this
Look at
protein boom
him!
isn't nearly as innocent as it
Why he freaky? Are you serious?
looks.
Cheerios under fire tonight. The new lawsuit claiming a new version of the classic with more protein has a lot more of something else as well.
So why is this protein gold rush happening now? How are companies getting away marketing regular products as protein snacks?
6 grams of protein. Okay, yeah, definitely worth my time.
Most importantly, what do you actually need to know before getting tricked by the label?
No way.
You guys talking about protein? I love protein. I love protein too. Protein rocks.
Protein's first true disciples were bodybuilders. By the 1970s, early sports science and gym culture had made it clear protein was essential.
Was that Arnold? Does he own Gold's Gym? Because I always remember that I went to Gold Gym like twice on a pass and there were just pictures of him.
For muscle repair and growth. But the first few supplements were awful. Protein of the sea was gritty, fishy, and borderline inedible. But as the fitness industry
Ew.
exploded, so did the demand for something better. By the 1980s, dairy-based protein, which was smoother and better tasting, became the gold standard.
And they have so many like protein scoops now or like protein powders and like tons of different flavors. I saw one the other day that was Chips Ahoy protein.
What girl's gonna go for me with a body like this?
Maybe another 10-year-old?
The sight of yourself at 18 doesn't convince you, Tom. Listen to your senior year girlfriend.
Hi, Tom.
And it's just that easy.
I'm waiting.
Ew, that was kind of nasty. What's she mean by that?
Milk. It does a body good.
I've told this before, but I used to drink milk when I went over to my friend's house because she told me that if you drink a lot of milk, it had like chemicals and stuff in it that would make it to where you would get bigger booba. And then I would drink all the milk at her house and it did nothing for me.
Outside of the gym though, nutrition trends were dominated by one thing: low fat. A handful of observational studies in the 50s and 60s, followed by official dietary guidelines in the 70s and 80s, blamed saturated fats for heart disease.
Oh my God, my grandma was always reading this stuff and she'd be like, I can't have eggs because it's bad for my cholesterol now. And then she'd move on. Actually, I do want eggs because it's good for my cholesterol. That's like grandma activities.
Food companies saw low fat as a marketing goldmine, even if
Dude, and there's like so many eras of diet culture. Like when I was a kid, it was what's it called? Like Weight Watchers or like Jenny Craig, or like my parents would have like those brownies that were like fit brownies and stuff, and then you had to like join the program and get like the points and stuff like that.
It meant replacing fat with sugar.
Dannon low-fat yogurt. A good thing going for you every day.
I like yogurt though, but not like how Dr. Kellogg's liked yogurt. What did he do? Yogurt enemas?
By the late 90s, the cracks were obvious. Obesity rates kept climbing.
It's probably not any better. Why American food tastes so good? Why?
The backlash came in the form of Atkins and other low-carb diets, flipping the villain from fat to carbs and putting protein and fat back in fashion. Through the early 2000s, supermarkets' health aisles became a battleground between low-fat and low-carb products.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, social media was taking bodybuilding mainstream. Whey protein had become cheaper, tastier, and heavily promoted by influencers.
Mm-hmm. And now they're moving on to like unregulated peptides. The world is crazy, man.
Suddenly, high-protein everyday foods like Fage Greek yogurt and Quest bars were trending well beyond the gym. Brands began to notice something. Carbs had been demonized, fat had been demonized, but protein was untouchable. By the 2020s, longevity-focused experts like Dr. Peter Attia were praising protein not just for bulking, but for preserving muscle with age, supporting immunity, and keeping you full.
That's me after I have my third set of rolls at Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, bring me another.
Protein now had a health halo, and then came the perfect storm. A global lockdown, widespread weight gain, and a renewed obsession.
Oh my god, are mukbangs still a thing? Do people still do that? I don't really watch that kind of stuff, but I did back in the day just because I thought it was kind of fun to just sit there and be like, I would not do that, but that's interesting. I hope not. Fiber is the main way to keep full. Oh, and the thing I hated about the mukbang or mukbang culture was the slurping. Like, I don't mind if you're gonna like film yourself eating, but like stop, like, and it's always like crab.
Of health. Weight loss drugs became mainstream, so dietitians urged patients to eat more protein to avoid muscle wastage while eating less. So now, protein-boosted products are almost seen as a shortcut to a healthy body.
There's only one way to reach the top without sacrifice. Cheating.
By this point,
Twitch streamers be like,
if your product wasn't high in protein, it looked outdated. So companies either reformulated to add it, or used marketing tricks to make it seem like they had. There's one main problem with many high protein products.
What?
They aren't high protein.
I know, it's a lie.
To spot the tricks used to legally get away with it.
It's the same reason I never trust wheat. Like when they're like, oh, this is a whole wheat product. But then I think like whole wheat has like some crazy regulations to where you can just say whole wheat.
This bag of chips, apparently high protein, sounds solid until you realize a serving has just 3 grams of protein, less than a slice of bread.
Yeah.
Then there's this high protein chocolate bar, 27 grams of protein, but also a massive 455 calories.
Damn! And that
Should be
no added sugar because they didn't have to add anything.
illegal to write this on you. 20% of your daily protein needs.
It feels like every aisle is now stacked with the same ultra-processed snacks.
Not the lunchly. Come on, man. When will they learn their lesson? Well, I mean, there's gotta be some like protein in mold, right?
See now, they're boasting about an extra gram or 2 of protein.
This shite has 12 grams of protein for 250 calories.
The Kardashians' popcorn has 7 grams of protein per 150 calories. Sure, it's a step up, but at twice the price, it's a pretty expensive sprinkle. How can a Nature Valley bar?
The straight up nut buster bar. I don't shit on my homie Nature Valley. I destroy those.
That's only 17% protein. Still slap protein on the front. To understand how that's even legal,
I told you, nut buster. You saw that?
you've got to understand the loopholes they don't want you to know about. In the US, if a product has just 10 to 19% of the daily recommended value of protein, it can legally be called a good source of protein.
Okay.
20% or more, now it's high protein. But here's the catch. That daily value is based on just 50 grams of protein a day, which is way below what most people would benefit from for fat loss or building muscle, at least according to the most up-to-date science. But by this rule, if a product has
I can't remember, is like the scale, like you should have at least 1 gram of protein for every pound of your body? Did I make that up? Is this a high protein stream? Yes, it's a high protein stream. You guys feel stronger?
5 grams of protein is a good source. 10 grams or more, now it's high protein. Even if it's surrounded by 300 calories a gloop. In the UK and EU, it's a little bit different. If 12% of the calories come from protein, it can be labeled as a source.
You use metric for that? Oh my god, you just blew my mind. How come the healthy facts I know are in metric? What does that say about America?
Over 20%, and it's high protein. So we have many companies including just enough protein in order to make these claims. And when a company doesn't meet these already low thresholds, there's plenty of legal loopholes they can jump through.
Yeah.
They can claim 50 grams of protein, then put in small print per pack, or as Cheerios Protein did, add an extra 0.7 grams of protein to regular Cheerios, double the portion size, and then claim 11 grams of protein with milk, which is where most of that extra protein came from. Well, conveniently...
That's crazy. That is so misleading. Like, you have to add another ingredient and you're gonna count that? Evil!
Leaving out that this great new product has 17 times the sugar per serving.
Wow.
And even the shakes aren't innocent. Slim Fast boasts 10 grams of protein, but that's with fat-free milk. The powder on its own, a measly 2 grams of protein.
What the hell?
Companies often dodge strict rules by using vague terms. Instead of saying high protein, which is regulated, they say things like protein packed.
Oh, that makes sense. And I think they do something with like the meats too. There's something about like USDA Prime, and then there's like another thing they say to make it seem like the meat is really good quality, but you can say it about anything.
Like these protein-packed balls.
Yeah, Farmer's Choice and USDA Select. That's what it is.
Which only have 4 grams of protein per serving.
I also added 2 times the protein on here.
2 times the detail.
Because companies love to do that all the time. You just have to compare to a comparable product. In this case, it has 2 times the protein of Twix.
They'll often choose a low protein product as a baseline.
That's kind of evil. Like, you're gonna protein log. Like, this product is absolute shit.
To make bold claims. Many companies will also include imagery to give their product a health halo, including images of nutritious whole foods on the packaging.
Yeah.
Or they'll say something like, it has as much protein as an egg.
But using like images never works on me anymore, because when they record like commercials and shit, if they do like an ice cream commercial, they'll use like mashed potatoes.
Implying that it's just as good, when in reality, it's nowhere near as nutritious.
This video is kind of weird to me because I ignore all the text and look at the table in the back. I would say a lot of people don't do that. Like, you're kind of an outlier, but that is the smart thing to do. Or like what other people, I think in other countries, they have like a scale on like how healthy something is, and it goes on the front of the package, but we don't have that in America because it's easier to just ignore it. If I want to eat my oatmeal cream pies, let me be.
In fact, a lot of protein-boosted foods like breads or chips use lower quality sources like pea or wheat protein. If you already eat plenty of meat, eggs or dairy, it's not a big deal. But if most of your protein comes from these ultra-processed foods, you might be hitting your numbers without properly fueling for muscle repair or growth. Protein quality matters, not just the total. But even when a product adds a meaningful amount of protein, it often comes with a trade-off. To mask the chalky taste or rubbery texture, companies add extra fats, sweeteners, sodium, or other additives.
That does make sense because you can't sell something that tastes bad. Or what I told you guys before is there was this company in California where they were selling like their cake batter flavor protein, and people were like, this is the greatest protein powder I've ever had. And then somebody ran it through a test and it wasn't even protein powder, it was just cake batter.
It might taste better, but it can also mean more calories and ingredients which don't necessarily benefit you. Companies will often take a high sugar, high fat bar.
You certainly can. Look at David's protein bars. Don't even get me started on David's. Those things are ass. And I like the Bear Bell bars, but I don't really eat them that much, but I do like them.
Slap 10 to 20 grams of protein in it, and suddenly it's a performance snack.
Yeah.
This is Snickers Pro Plus.
Snickers Pro Plus bar. Sponsored by Shaq. He's always on every single ad campaign. I would not be surprised if he was holding this shit and taking a bite.
Plus, not protein, just pro to imply protein. If we use a king-size Snickers bar, it has 8 grams of protein, so we can highlight that. And the plus can simply mean plus energy from peanuts.
This trickery is exactly why I recommend most people to track calories for a couple of months. It helps you spot the bullshit so you can actually make progress.
I think what helped me the most whenever I was losing weight was somebody was like, never go on the inside of the aisles, always walk on the outside.
I noticed many of these protein posers while tracking my macros with MacroFactor, who's kindly sponsoring this video. Let's say I'm in a fat loss phase with a 2,000 calorie target. If I filled that with high protein Nature Valley bars, I'd only get 100 grams of protein. Protein matters. It's essential for maintaining muscle while dieting, and it's the most filling macronutrient, which helps you stay on track. But you want a good balance of all the macros, not just protein. You could work this out manually, or use MacroFactor, which acts like a smart coach that adapts to your preferences and lifestyle. So if your calorie needs change, it'll adjust with you. It learns from your data over time and takes just a few minutes a day.
The only thing I have to say about watching your calories is probably in the beginning it's pretty smart, because then you get like an idea of how bad stuff actually is, because in the beginning you really have no idea that some things are like 9 more billion calories and you had no idea. But then after that, just like be intuitive and eat good most days and like still have bad days. Like you could still eat like crap. For me, what also helped is like I just don't drink like full fat like drinks. Like I'll have like a water, but if I want like a soda, I'll have like a Coke Zero or something like that. And like sure, I'll probably die 20 years earlier, but like maybe I'll die slay.
Partially thanks to the fastest barcode scanner on the market. Plus you can scan labels and save custom recipes, so you can focus on eating instead of messing around. I honestly think everyone should try tracking calories for at least a few months. It makes sustainable fat loss or muscle gain way more intuitive, and is a good way to avoid falling for sneaky protein marketing and have a nutritional approach that actually takes you to your goals. MacroFactor is cheaper than MyFitnessPal's premium version, with no ads or upsells. It's also ran by some of the smartest fitness professionals in the industry, and you can try it for free
fit people.
for 14 days using my code JoshBrett with the link in the description. Food.
Oh, they're just doing it to charge you more because they put a word on a package.
Companies have figured out a cheat code. Slap the word protein on a product, charge extra, and watch the profits roll in. Protein pasta can be almost twice the price for just an extra 3 grams of protein. It's an easy way to charge more for your cereal.
Yeah, but it makes me feel like I'm doing a good thing even though I'm not.
But sometimes, these are just regular products, marketed as high protein.
5.1 grams of protein. 5.1 grams of protein. Lidl, are you flipping mad?
Just about enough to
Are you flipping mad?
claim a source of protein on the front, but it allows companies to make massive profits. And let's face it, often get away with them tasting horrendous because it's healthy.
Hi, quick question.
David Barr has entered the building.
Is the main ingredient in all protein bars shit?
With the fitness industry growing,
I mean, that's gotta have a lot of protein in it, right? That can't be too bad.
protein has only become more valuable to the
Yummers.
public. So when people realize they've been tricked by a protein label on regular food, they get understandably frustrated.
This is a protein bar. This is a protein bar. This is a steaming pile of
This
What a way with words.
isn't a small trend, it's a full-blown protein gold rush. In the first 3 months of 2025 alone, 8.3% of all new food products bragged about being a source of protein.
Wow.
That's up from 6.1% in 2024.
What's gonna be next? Fiber maxing? Or maybe like, dude, I saw these tortillas that I bought at the store. They said in the corner, GLP-1 friendly. What does that mean? I don't know.
And just 4.6% in 2023. But most people still believe protein equals healthy, so companies get away with the fine print. Take these collagen protein gummies, just 0.15.
Friendly for people on diet pills, but like, can't they just eat whatever they want? Like, that just marketing makes no sense to me. Like, that does nothing. I don't understand.
Grams of collagen per serving. That's less than a third of a Tic Tac. Still.
Oh my God. Don't even get me around orange Tic Tacs. I will destroy an entire box.
People leave 5-star reviews because they taste good and they seem healthy. More and more, we're just getting catfished by clever marketing. And the worst part, they often jack up the protein while gutting the actual nutrition. Let me show you how dumb it can get. Let's say you're trying to lose weight on 2,000 calories a day with a protein goal of 150 grams. You could achieve this with the following. For breakfast, protein cereal, a protein Pop-Tart, some...
Oh, the protein Pop-Tarts. I bought those one time. Literal chalk.
collagen gummies, and a Hubba Bubba whey shake. For lunch, protein spread in a protein sandwich, some birthday cake peanut butter protein, and protein chips.
This is just so many snacks. Like, if you meal prep, then you know what you're gonna eat and you have the meal, and then you don't have to, like, go through all these little side quests.
For dinner, protein pizza with a protein beer to wash it down. Still under your goal? No worries, just vape the rest.
Collagen vape? Yeah, I'm vaping to look beautiful. You want some?
Congrats, you hit your macros. Now try not to protein yourself, because you've consumed loads of sugar alcohols and additives, not nearly enough fiber, and you'll probably still be hungry. Since ultra-processed food just isn't as filling as whole foods. I learnt the hard way as a teenager. During lockdown, there wasn't much fresh food in my area, and I was convinced
Me neither.
COVID
I lived in Louisiana. There wasn't jack. That was horrible.
meant instant death. So I basically lived on protein products ordered online. Sure, I hit my calories and lost weight, but I also racked up deficiencies, felt bloated, and barely ate any fruit or veg. These products tend to be stripped of the vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients you'd find in whole foods. And Michael Pollan calls that narrow thinking nutritionism. To make things worse, protein-fortified junk often comes with a premium price tag, which is the main issue, especially when you consider that most of these products aren't really high protein.
Yeah.
All these products have their place in a balanced diet, but if your diet boils down to chasing protein claims on flashy labels, you've basically become a marketer's dream.
I'm just gonna give up on reading.
Your protein powder.
I don't think that's protein powder. And there is a suspiciously sized hole.
What's the next step?
Protein products shouldn't be demonized. They can offer convenience and often taste surprisingly good. If a shake helps you hit your protein goal, brilliant. But many companies are just passing off regular treats as protein products. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Oinkers!
All the while, actual Whole Foods sits sadly in the corner with no marketing team behind them.
Aww.
And here's the punchline. Some of the products marketed as high protein have even less protein than they claim.
I love
Take
Go-Gurt.
Lenny and Larry's cookies.
Dude, these are awful. They're 9 more billion calories too.
They proudly claim 16 grams of protein with over 400 calories. Already a bit questionable. But when...
Look at the top. Half a cookie. This shit is a crumble cookie, by the way. 800, oh no, 220 times 2 is 440. I'm sorry, I was crumble pilled. Crumble pilled is actually 800 calories. Do not go to Crumble.
Tested, they were found to have 4 to 9 grams of protein.
Oh my god.
Which is what I love about a piece of chicken and Whole Foods. No bullshit or asterisks involved.
I just hate chicken breast. I can't do it. It's so dry. Then I want to get sauce. Oh my god. Give me the thigh.
So here's a question worth asking. If the protein bars and cookies that you're relying on turned out to not be high in protein, would your diet fall apart? Because if the answer is yes, probably a red flag. One simple test which helps me choose
David!
Shakes and bars is to take the calories, knock off the last 0 and compare. If a product has more grams of protein than this number, it's pretty good. So a bar with 190 calories and 20 grams of protein, decent. but 480 calories and 16 grams of protein is starting to look more like expensive candy with a protein sticker. Protein isn't the problem, the marketing is. And the craze isn't slowing down, but you can before buying into the next shiny label.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. If you're new here, make sure to come by the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/BerryCrepe, or use code Berry for 10% off your gamer subs order. It would super help me out, and I hope you have a great evening. Goodbye, YouTube! Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye!